What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah, buddy. Coming up in the club, the body rocking all night, night. Hands up, we don't got our hands up. Why am I singing a song from the person that I forgot? I don't know who it sang, but it's stuck in my head. I don't have a plan for this podcast. Hello, my name is Intuitive Juliet. Just kidding, in real life I go by just Juliet, not just Juliet, but Juliet. That's my real name. If it's confusing that it says Intuitive Juliet, I cannot help you. Today is the first day of my favorite podcast and yours, the Intuitive Juliet podcast. Woo! So I'm going to be doing podcasts now, podcasts, plural, because I think I'd enjoy them, and I'd also think you'd enjoy them. Now, for this particular podcast, I don't really have a plan, but there's something on my mind that I wish to tell you. Now, the decorum will change over time because we're actually redoing my office, the attic. Where do you live? Well, I'm 26, and I live in my parents' attic. Is that tragic? No. A little bit, yes. But also the subject that I wanted to talk to you about. Okay, first of all, thank you for this tea mug, Marion. You know who you are. I'm very grateful for this. And for the cookie compartment, I actually dropped in some mints because I like them warm. No, I don't like them warm, but I only had cookies with chocolate, and your instructions clearly said that that would melt, so here we are. We have some mints, some warm mints in time. And for my tea today, we have the detox tea from Yogi again with a quote. Okay, so every time I drink tea, and that's going to be a lot because I now have a show called Tea Time with Juliet, a very well-watched show, by the way. And on that show, why am I screaming? I don't know. But on that show, I drink tea. And the last time I drank detox tea, and this time I'm also drinking detox tea. I'm not quite sure if I want to keep this pillow or not, but ooh, that's actually quite comfortable. Okay, so the quote of this episode is, "May we confine ourselves to the strength of our soul." Soul. Does that correlate with the video? I never know another word than correlate. Resonate with the video? Does it? I hear like Dutch words in my head. Has it betrekking op? It does a bit, but just like fuck. No, it broke. Why does that happen? It's never happened before. Oh, I guess we don't have the strength in our soul. Well, this is boiling hot. It's already in for like 10 minutes, and the instruction says 5. I'm gonna have to do this. Fuck. Oh, okay, that wasn't really that bad. This never happened, by the way. What the hell? Okay. Done. Go away. Okay, so you two. Don't need you. Okay, so let's just take a sip first before I, run out of breath again. I was here. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about. I had planned. I didn't really plan a video for this actually. I do wanna already say which video I have planned for like next week or this week. I don't know yet. Which is abortion, a video about abortion, which I always wanted to make because I wanna tell you my take on it. Okay, so that I got planned for next week. For this week, or actually today, I had a video in mind. I didn't really have a video in mind. I just had a concept in mind, which I really wanted to share. And it is to ask yourself these questions in life if you feel stuck. If you feel stuck in life, ask yourselves these questions. Because I don't want to tell my story every single fucking time. Or like, I feel stuck, blah, blah, blah. Because I don't, okay? And you got to ask yourself these questions if you don't want to feel stuck in life. Because I guess we all do feel stuck in life one way or the other. Some people might feel stuck in life in like love. Others feel stuck when finding a career or maybe their dreams that they want to, not gonna put this below, by the way. The dreams that they want to pursue. Some people feel stuck in their lives when they, well, what can you feel stuck in life? When you have many things, maybe, yeah. Why the only things I can come up or that I can think of are like career and love, because that's where I'm stuck in life. I'm so self-obsessed sometimes. That's like a thing that when you've dealt with like depression and stuff, this is a really, I don't know if any of you have this, but I always think really black and white sometimes, which it's weird because in like emotional stuff, I know I know how to see through people. I know I don't really judge people, but when I judge their what they're saying, I look at their deepest intentions and I always know what they are. I think that that's my intuitive power, that I always know the right thing to say to people because I've dealt with every single aspect in my past of shit that people go through on a day-to-day basis. So I know why people say the things that they say, and I also know that I'm intuitive and I know how to pinpoint that. Like I always called myself my own psychologist, and that's why sometimes I might also be like really black and white, because I'm like, I know, yeah, maybe that's it. Because I was like, it doesn't make sense maybe to be black and white or with a lot of things. But then again, maybe that's what it all comes down to in the end. As in, I always say like the most difficult questions have the simplest of answers. Always. Because when you come out of a problem, you're always like, wow, was I like that when a few years back? Because now that's so weird. You know, it's always like this simple answer. When someone may be really shy, it's just like, love yourself. That's like the black and white answer. Okay, little sidetrack, little tangent. That's okay. That's what I do. But I just, I went about my day to day as I normally do, as everyone normally does, don't they? And then what always no, I'm not going to say this because then I'm manifesting. This is like the thing that this is the thing that you people also should really, really be mindful of. Okay. I just posted an Instagram. I just posted an Instagram. I just posted a poem. No, not a poem. A poem. A poem or quote. Check my Instagram out. It's full of poems and quotes. I just posted a poem that says, oh my fucking God, what did it say? Hold on. Okay, I'm not cutting this out because I just deleted it, didn't I? Yes, I did. Fuck. Yes, okay, I have it. We ask of you your greatest effort of thinking the greatest thoughts, all in order to find your greatest treasure. Okay, so this is it, yeah? I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening in my throat, but this is all staying in. I forgot where I was, but it's okay. I know my point. The only thing, this is what you have to be mindful of. Yes, okay. So the only thing that you have to be mindful of are your thoughts, your mental diet. This is what a lot of people say. Even Neville Goddard says that if you have your mental diet in the right order, all the other processes are flown out the window or flying out the window. You don't need all other processes anymore. If you're not in control of what you're saying, but if you are in alignment with what you're saying, right? So that's the only effort really that you need to bring to the table. And that's the only thing, that's really like the thing that you need to be mindful of. So me, like, I'm not going to tell you what's happened today because I don't want to create it more, you know? Let's just say that we all have certain beliefs in place mostly based on the past and childhood and what other people say to us and what we overhear and what we see on TV and stuff, because our subconscious mind just accepts everything as true. So if you deal with your stresses for a long time and if you live in fear for a long time, that's exactly what you'll get to experience, because as Dr. Joe Dispenza says, your personality creates your personal reality. Now, I'm just going to be completely honest here, and I'm just going to say to myself, just me saying this to you is just going to help some people out there, and it's not me creating shit. Because you know what? I only create good shit for myself, and I only create positive shit for myself. So this is what I previously dealt with. I'm sorry. Okay, as I said, this video is called Ask Yourself These Questions If You Feel Stuck in Your Life. I, for one, have felt stuck in my life my entire life. The only mental diet I gave to myself for years is, I will not amount to anything. I feel so stuck. I hate my life. I want to die. Like fucking every single day. So when I align with those thoughts, because my body's like, hell yeah, comfortable. Let's go back to struggling. That's what we do. We are emotionally addicted to our thoughts. So that's what I did. And then I feel worse and I'm so sad. But this is the point, okay? Because even me kind of jokingly talking about this, I'm not saying me because I'm not that person anymore. But a part of me, not me, but like these thoughts, this momentum gets picked up again because it has so much momentum. Abraham Hicks says that it's better to sometimes focus on a subject that you know will feel really good, that has nothing to do with your desire or the things that you want to achieve, because that has your negative things, or like maybe the thing that you want to achieve, you're more focused upon what you don't want instead of what you do want. That has a lot of momentum of what you don't want behind it. So when you just feel good all the time, yeah, you'll manifest everything that you want. And also that's a myth that if everyone says, or if someone says you have to feel good all the time or you can't manifest, that's a myth. You don't have to feel good all the time. But that's what I'm saying. That's what this video is also about. It's about your beliefs. It's about your beliefs and your assumptions. That's what manifests. And people say, well, I'm saying to myself, affirming every single day that I love my life, but I'm not loving my life. Well, how are you feeling when you say that? You know, I'm not saying again that you have to feel good. I'm just saying that your feeling is an indicator that you don't feel good about it. So you have a belief in place, probably, if it's really like an intense feeling, that says something negative. And if that's something negative, your assumption or your beliefs behind everything, then that's what will manifest. You won't manifest, well, you can manifest also by affirming like crazy and just robotically affirming, as Sammy Ingram has told us. You can, but you do not waver when you do that. That's like the trick, is to stop wavering. And then but most of us waver, right? I waver a lot. I'm not going to say like I'm far from perfect, okay? I've come to find out that I waver a lot. And I'm not going to do that anymore because, whoa. So it sounded so nerdy because whoa, I don't want that anymore. I don't have a reason behind it. It feels shitty. I've come to a point where I'm just like, I don't want to feel that bad anymore. Has anyone do any of you have that? You know, that you're just so fed up of feeling bad. Like it's just so annoying, isn't it? It's like, when is it going to stop, you know? But that's the thing that you have to ask yourself. These are the questions that you have to ask yourself. First of all, or this is not a question, but first of all, let me just take a sip of tea. Let's prepare a list for you. Let's just open Pages. And let's prepare like a list of questions that you can ask yourself if you feel stuck in your life. First of all, and I'm not going to take credit for these questions. First of all, Bashar says always when you hear a thought and you're conscious of it and it's a negative thought or just a thought that you don't want, don't make it unconscious and don't fight it. Don't fight it and just make it conscious and then ask yourself why. That's the first question, okay? Your first question is to ask yourself, not an empty book, We're starting an empty book. Your questions. Question. What type of bear is the best bear? If you have watched The Office, you know what I mean. I'm just rewatching The Office right now. That's why I'm saying that. Okay, questions. If you feel stuck in your life. Question number 1. Why do I believe this? This is actually a question that Bashar says. Or asked. If you don't know who Bashar is, he's a quasi-conscious, not quasi-conscious, but I'm reciting a bio on YouTube that I've read, but I don't know what it said after that. He's, I think, a hybrid gray alien who's channeled by Daryl Anka. And he's great if you want to like just have the mechanical explanation of things without emotions, you know, but still with emotions, because he's still like, he still cares a lot and he's full of love and stuff, but he just gives it to you straight, and that's what I love about him. So I saw one video, I will link it down below, from a woman who really like was stuck in her feelings about feeling hurt by other people, and she was trying to get like some sort of reaction out of Bashar, which a lot of people, I think that a lot of people do. And I've also recently kind of like realized that I don't want to say ego anymore, because ego is just your identity of self. It can be a positive identity and a negative identity. So ego is not negative at all. But I think that people nowadays who have a negative self-identity, they try to get reactions out of each other, because I really encountered this a lot in a store that I work at. Like a lot of people, when something goes all right, lovely word, all right. If something goes all right with like a product or something, or they want to return something, they really try to give us grief as retail workers, because it's like the messenger. You're like the messenger that they can kind of whine or whinge to, and I get it, because it's sometimes stupid rules that then we have to also like recite that we don't ourselves agree with, and most of the time we are really lenient. It sounds like a lenient king. He was really lenient. My vocabulary really astounds me sometimes, because I know words that I didn't even know, lenient, and I've never used that. But we sometimes can be really like friendly and just really chill about a lot of stuff. But sometimes it's just like, you know, it's just like both sides. And I usually got really like defensive. But then it's like you don't really even realize that you're defending something that you don't agree with, which is weird, because I honestly don't really care if someone, you know, like it's not my store, so I'm not really, if it was my own store, then yeah, I would care. But like, no, I don't care that much. But they will try to get a reaction out of me. And now I'm just like Bashar, I don't give it to them. And that brings me joy. Sometimes it does bring me joy to be like, if someone is stressed, it sounds really sadistic, but it's like, I just know that it doesn't matter. It's just like, sometimes it's about a product that's like €4 or something. And it's so dumb. And it's basically like sometimes a Karen, you know, in the store. And I actually work with a Karen. She's really nice. She's not a Karen at all. So, okay. But Jesus, tangent. Okay. People just nowadays, they're not even communicating with each other. It's just like, I believe like politics and shit, it doesn't do shit. And people are not making progress in this world. This is also what I hate, right? Okay. Just like, also when people are talking about their society, they're like, we are. No, you don't speak for me. You speak for you. I don't care if everyone maybe is agreeing about a certain thing. I'm not part of that, and I will not be a part of that, okay? We are one. Let's act like one. Let's just leave the negative shit aside, and let's get back to the video and ask yourself these questions. Okay, first question is, when you catch something when you catch something like a thought, like a negative, out of alignment thought. Let's not call them even negative, just out of alignment. You're not in alignment with them because everything is neutral, right? And everything you can put a positive spin on actually everything, but to get some, this is also what Bashar says. I'm literally like, reciting him because I love him. I love his advice, okay? Let's manifest a podcast episode with Bashar. That would be my dream come true, I think. A dream come true. Okay. Jeetje. Jeetje. Okay. Why do I believe this? That's the first question. When a thought comes up, ask yourself, why do I believe this? Because I actually have a quote that's coming out on Instagram that really explains this beautifully. And it says, we are more fearful of the idea of the outcome than the actual outcome itself. We are more fearful of the thing, of the unknown that we taint, right? We poison it with our projected outcome. So what's actually going to happen is 99% of the time not actually what happens. Just like Mark Twain, he said, I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never happened. Okay, so ask yourself, why do I believe this? Why? Most of the time, there's no answer. When you ask yourself these questions, I'm thinking Dutch again, because when you ask yourself like further than just being in that fear, because you're not actually making sense to yourself when you are fearful of a certain outcome and you feel like you're stuck, because you're just stuck in momentum and thought loops. It's not based on reality, and there actually is no reality because reality doesn't exist at all. Okay, get this in your mind too. There's no time. We just perceive time, because if you actually think about it, there's no time other than the psychological time that we play in our heads that is creating our reality, creating our realities. Okay, there's no time. We think about the problems of the past. We think about the anxieties of the future, and it's all happening in our heads. That's a good poem. We think about the problem of the past. We think about the anxieties of the future. It doesn't really sound great, but pasts and I forgot heads kind of rhymes. Okay, so ask yourself, why do I believe this? Why? Ask yourself why. Why? What's the worst that can happen? Oh, okay, so I am stuck in this house forever because the economy is bad, and because that has influence on me, because there's something other out there than me, right? No, that's just not true. But you'll probably get that someday, or you already do. Ooh, hello, another poem. But yeah, there's nothing out there other than you, than here. There's nothing. Just like your body, you're not in your body. You are conscious of your body. Okay, I wanted to say something, but I forgot it. But if it's really important, it will come back to me. This is also a really good trick to realize that if you feel stuck, just realize that, okay, this is what I wanted to say. This is what I realized too when I was going into these out of alignment thought loops today, is that I was just basically returning to a reality that I had for a long time. And that's easy for the body to return to because it's comfortable, and I'm addicted to those thoughts, and that's fine. But I have to take responsibility for my thoughts, which will lead to different actions down the line. And I really saw that today clearly, that instead of then in the night closing it off like, oh no, I'm lonely, and oh no this, and oh no that, because I had a belief that, oh, just because I'm not doing anything on Saturday night, it means that I'm somehow so lonely and nobody likes me. And I'm like, what the fuck? It doesn't matter. I get why most of you and me, I get finally why I didn't see that before, because I just had a belief in place. This is why beliefs are so important. So maybe another question is, what are my beliefs? And this is, about really making these beliefs conscious is that you can figure out, you can literally say like, this is how literal it is, right? I could say to myself and really start believing that every time I hold this candle in my hand, my butt grows bigger. Every time I hold this candle in my hand, my butt grows 2 inches. I don't know how inches because we have the metric system here. 2 centimeters in size. Every time I hold this candle and say the words Hakuna Matata. Okay, that's how literal your belief system will act and will play itself out. I have to take a little intercession because my intercession, is that a word? Because my camera only records 30 minutes. Okay, so when you have a belief underlying your thoughts that say like, maybe your thoughts going like, I can't achieve anything. I can't do this. I'm stuck here. I won't ever move out of my parents' house. I will never find love. I am never going to be amount to anything. Everyone around me is, but I'm not. Success is not for me. Blah, blah, blah. Dreams are just dreams. That's just that. You're not actually saying why. But when you're, and Bashar says that your beliefs, negative beliefs or out of alignment beliefs are designed in such a way that they prohibit you from actually finding out why you believe them in order to perpetuate themselves so that the 3D reality keeps moving. But he showed a diagram or like a slide, a picture of how different out of alignment beliefs are to just negative and positive. Say it's too many words, to positive beliefs, and how kind of like negative beliefs, they close you in when they perpetuate, and positive beliefs, they like spread out, or they are more open, and they literally like they feel lighter too, right? They're more open when they perpetuate, but they both perpetuate because they're both just at the end of the day, they're both neutral, and they're here in order to make this experience for us real, the 3D reality. But negative beliefs are just designed in a different way where they keep you from finding out why you're saying all these things to yourself. So you might be saying to yourself, like, as I said, like, I can't move out of my house, but why? Because you don't ask yourself that when you keep regurgitating the same old things. We don't ask ourselves why. I can't do this because of the economy. And then I'm like, why? Because of the economy. And then I'm like, so what does the economy have to do with you? Well, it affects everyone. And I'm like, well, no, it doesn't affect you because only you affect you. And you're like, no, because the economy affects you. And I'm like, do you believe that your thoughts create reality? Yes. Well, then the economy doesn't affect you. Only if you have believed that the economy will affect you. And that may be your belief, that you think, oh, the economy affects me. And if you, get rid of that belief by realizing it and by catching it from time to time and realizing that it doesn't make sense, then maybe you'll find a nice house, regardless of what the economy is. But if you really feel like the economy affects you, then that is exactly what is going to happen in your life. Your assumptions, everything creates, no matter how weird or how literal they are. Because I think that by realizing that I'm still not paying my awareness to, or being aware of the person that I wish to become, and I'm putting my awareness of the person that I was, I am creating the person that I was every single day. And then my negative self-identity wants to be like, I'm sad, I'm lonely, I'm this and that and that and this, without actually making sense. Another question that is like a segue from this is, how am I different from then? How am I? What makes me? What makes me different from anyone else? Is that good English? to anyone else? What makes me different from anyone else? What makes me different to anyone else? What makes me different than anyone else? What makes me different from anyone else? I'm just going to say from. I know if it's right, but I don't care. Like, what makes you so different that you can't achieve what you want to achieve? The only thing that makes you different is probably that you have a belief in place that makes you different. And those are the beliefs that I'm talking about. These weird, specific beliefs that maybe I believed for a long time. I believed that for a long time that I was so different than anyone else because I hated this and I hated that. And I saw everyone going on with their lives and I'm still stuck here and I'm so different than anyone else. And I really got it into my mind that I was somehow separate from everyone else in this world. And I was alone and nobody understood me. Sorry, my ears are like plopping or something. What the fuck? I got a broom against my ear yesterday and it's been weird all day. That might be like a belief that you cannot seem to figure out, which is being kind of like layered upon all of these, with all these other beliefs, which I also have a quote that I will post soon. Oh, also so many sneak peeks. I'm so kind today. This is a quote from me. Okay. You don't need to find a way. You just need to get out of the way. Like, we put so many layers upon ourselves about beliefs. And then we try to, as Tom Kiernan from Be Something Wonderful channel says, great channel, by the way, I'll link it down below too. And maybe he has it from a book, but I don't know that he calls it the messy middle. So we try to manipulate the 3D. We try to find solutions to these problems. But as Abraham Hicks also says, that the vibration or the frequency of the problem is really different from the frequency of the solution. So you cannot possibly find the solution when you are vibrating on the frequency of the problem. And I had another thing in my mind that I forgot, but that's okay. This is kind of like an example of how the negative belief just holds you in place and how the positive belief perpetuates that the solution, like, and it brings more of fun and more of pleasure and more of joy, more of happiness. And then the negative thing is kind of like perpetuating, like, it's just keeping you in this place and it's just locking you in and just surrounding you with more negative thoughts. But when you get out of the way and you think about something else that doesn't have any momentum, I keep having to doing this now, you might figure out why. And you might just forget completely about it altogether and just move to a new reality, because that's basically what you're doing, which will bring me to my fourth question. What is real for me? This is, I think, biggest point that I wanted to make in this video. I will start with another sip and then something that Bashar says, that we pick up beliefs from everyone. So society, friends, parents, school, TV, everything, everyone. But when they feel heavy and it feels like they're weighing you down, that's a sign that those beliefs are not yours. And when they feel light and you feel happy and joyous or just light and you feel like a relief, that means that the beliefs are in alignment with who you are. So what is real for me? What is real for you? As there is no real reality. I actually made a video about this in my course, the new Intuitive You course, that one lesson is called The Real Reality, where I talk about how there actually is no real reality. But sometimes, all the times, we somehow don't allow ourselves to dream and to feel like this could be real for me because of beliefs that we hold in place, because of all of the reasons that I said previously. And that feels so real because we're used to feeling those things and we're used to going back to that because it has so much momentum. But actually, when we realize that that is not at all real, because there is no reality, and you can create everything that you want, regardless of what you believe, because it's just beliefs, and beliefs are fleeting. Everything in this reality is fleeting apart from you. And I think that's a really important question because you get to decide what is real for you. No one gets to decide that. This is, I think, the biggest thing where we get stuck. Because we're like, well, this is what everybody else is doing, so I should be doing this too. This is how we have to make money. And if I don't do this, then I'm out of money. Putting all of these like limits on ourselves for no other reason than to think that that's the right or the just thing to do, I guess. It's like, this is what everybody else is doing. This is what is logical in this world. This is how people get by in this world. And this is how I will have a stable future and a great pension, and I can finally be happy and blah, blah, blah. And we might be happy for some time, and most people are. I am not. Like, I could never actually. That's why I never finished any school and never really. I don't know. It wasn't because I wasn't smart, but it's just something in my underbelly. I don't like that word, but like something in my underbelly said, "Get out." But I was too scared to do something about it, so I lied to myself and I said, this is what I must do, and I have to go to school and university and make something of my life, and I'll be happy and I'll be worth it and I'll be blah, 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 which is a belief that I carried around with me for a long time, and I still do, I think, because now I'm just like, I'm not gonna, I feel like I've believed for a long time that I had to prove myself to people. I have to prove that I can do this. I have to be perfect. I have to be the best. Life is a competition. Okay. That is also what we learn, isn't it? Life is a competition. And we must fight each other for the best results, for the test scores. And when we are out of alignment with what people say, this is another big thing, that if we don't agree, and I think that this is what happens to most people in stores when they're getting agitated and annoyed, is that when you disagree with someone, it's bad. It's really bad if you disagree with someone, because then what happens if you go to question nothing? I thought it was a question, but it isn't. If you disagree with someone, the whole world will implode, because what happens? Or, yes, it is a question. Why do I believe this? Why do I believe this? Why is it so hard to comprehend that disagreeing with people it's not that bad at all? It's actually really great, because then you filter out all of the people that you do not align with, and you move to a reality with people where who you align with, and those people will also help you in your success, and you will help them in yours. You will help them in theirs, yes. But I had that belief too for a long time, that disagreeing with people is bad. And that's that belief really, like, it's this, how do you say that? I limited myself on making certain types of videos because I was so scared of what people were going to say. That's why I'm just going to make that abortion video. So you just keep on the lookout for that, because you won't know what will hit you. No, it's not that bad, actually. But I guess, like, what is real for me? What is a real reality for me? Because we all have the right to ask ourselves that. Because if you don't, as I said, with the people that, or if you just speak your truth, you will align with the people that you are meant to align with, or that you choose to align with, because you can go any other way. You can go to the Flat Earth Society, that's up to you. You can go to the spiritual people. You can go to the mainstream type media people. You can go anywhere, You become a Nazi. Like, I know that's bad in a lot of different ways, I know, but that's like free will, and that's what everyone can do. But when you disallow yourself that's when you will start living a life that is out of alignment with you. And that's why so many people nowadays, probably also people in store, going back to the retail people, feel so agitated about so many things, because they're actually not really happy with the lives they lead, because it's out of alignment with them. So what is real for me? The next question is, what am I in true alignment with? That's the next question. What are you in true alignment with? When you start asking yourself, you start allowing yourself. I think that's like the better way of putting it. Like, when you start allowing yourselves to ask yourselves, what is real for me? You'll also find out what you are in alignment with. Because I have shut myself up so many times in life, and I think that a lot of people do this, especially nowadays. Still, when I'm saying especially nowadays, I'm not going to say that the social climate is bad. Just going to say that it used to be better. No, not at all. Because I think that if you, as Bashar said, again, Bashar, love the man or woman. No, it's a man, I think. He said that we don't actually have to improve the world. We can move to a reality where where the world already is improved or to our liking. So to a world where we prefer, because actually infinite realities of Earth already exist. Because there's no time, blah, blah. What I said, everything exists at once. So you can move right now if you have that, if you believe that, if you can assume that, you can literally move to your preferred reality. And he also actually says, this is just a fun fact, doesn't really have anything to do with anything, but it also kind of does, that right now is really the period of choosing, and I think that's why the world is so crazy. And what do I mean by choosing? It's choosing, everyone's choosing the reality that they prefer. Everyone is choosing things that they do prefer and that they don't prefer. And actually in a few years' time, we stop choosing, or we still are choosing, but it gets crystallized in some type of way. So then the people that we are literally out of alignment with and are not on our frequency, they are unable to join us in our preferred frequency, and we are unable to enjoy them. No, we are unable to join them on theirs. So this is like the choosing period. So everything is going crazy right now. So maybe, yeah, the social climate is bad. It's not bad, it's just different. Because this is actually a thing that I really like about today, but this is because I have had personal experiences with this, with body issues, which I also want to make a video about, is that what I walk past the like a lingerie store or like the H&M, and I just see normal looking people on the cover, or like on the advertisement shit, billboards, whatever. But we don't have billboards in the Netherlands. We don't, it's not fucking America, but like where I live, we don't have billboards, like the windows, you know, like I don't know how you say that in English, but like when you're window shopping, just the windows, you can see like normal looking people. And I really love that. So even though like the social climate might be bad, but I think that this is what I want to say, is that if you say that it's bad, then yeah, it's bad. This is what I mean by infinite versions of Earth already exists, and you can move to any reality. So if you think that the social climate is bad, just say to yourself, the social climate is really great and to my liking. Because actually I have a manifestation story that I want to tell you. And this is also like a piece of evidence that when you don't have momentum to it and you just say it, release and let it go, it will manifest. My sister and I are going to the sauna tomorrow. And it's a great sauna. Everything is to our liking. Everything is lovely. Okay, but like the food items on the menu are really specific. And it's like so weirdly specific that it's like, well, I'll just take the hamburger, because that's the only thing kind of that you want to eat, because the rest is like, it's just like, it's just, no, you know, like it's so weirdly specific. I cannot think of anything that is on the menu right now, but it's too specific to like, you know? So I was like, maybe a week ago, or like a week or 2 weeks ago, I was like, Iris, what if we just like manifest some new stuff on the menu? So we just talked about it, like, oh, whoa, this will be nice, this will be nice. Oh yeah, this will be nice. And then we just released it, didn't really talk about it. And then like a few days ago, my sister WhatsApped me or texted me, was like, yo, they got new shit on the menu. Like, this is something that's completely out of our control, right? But just because we talked about it and the universe, or us, because the universe is just us, we knew that we wanted it, it got, well, God delivered, baby. And we can now enjoy the food. Actually, not every single menu item is different. And it was just like a little bit different, but still, we manifested that. So what are you in true alignment with? What menu items do you want on the menu? Okay, it's all for you. This universe is here for you, literally. And I think the last question would be, how can I make every single experience into a positive one. Because it truly is. I think that this really hit me, or like I realized this fully when Bashar said, not really even fully, but more so than before. Bashar said in one video, do you just ask yourself, instead of what you want, what do you need right now? That's somehow took so much pressure off of me to maybe really grind hard in order to achieve something. And it's not just about like self-care. Oh, what do you need right now? A face mask. I don't mean that. It's like, do you honestly right now need to have your desire fully manifested? Or do you need to maybe learn something before you do? Because when it's me, I really want to be a YouTuber, and I really want to make videos and just talk a lot. And this is, I think, the first video where I'm really like fully me. And I really want that to go well and to be on my path to have my own company and to be successful and have a lot of money and to just to move everywhere and to be free. And yeah, I want all that, but is it really what I need right now? If that were to happen right now, this day, this moment, blah, 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 would I be prepared for that? Or would maybe there still be something to learn for me right here? And I don't mean like, oh, the universe is going to test you right now, and even more so. So you don't need to have everything that you want right now. I just mean that we are the creators of our experience. So if I'm still creating this experience, this is probably something that I still need right now. Because if this were to change, then I would need that reality. So there's still something for me to learn until I can move to that reality. I'm not saying, oh, it's divine timing and it will happen when it must. No, there is no divine timing, because I could go on and live in this house until I'm 35. And it would still maybe be something that I need. And I would still be broke and still have not the body that I want and not the ass that I want. But every time I hold this candle, my ass will grow 2 centimeters. And I will believe that to its core. But you know what I mean? It's like when you say that to yourself, that you are the creator of every single experience, so you create this moment too, you take that power back. This is not meant to be disempowering and to say like, oh, this is my fault. Oh, this is my fault that I manifested this. This is my fault. No, it's not. It takes the power back to you, that you can create anything that you want, and that this reality might still just be something that needed to happen right now. It takes the pressure off. It makes you just relax a little bit more, that it's okay. Stop comparing. That's just like another video. They will want to make the point. Stop comparing, okay? Stop comparing. It doesn't matter. And this is where question 6 comes into play, is how can I make every single experience into a positive one? It's realizing that you might still need this experience right now and that you can learn something out of it, and then you'll go into your next one. And this is also not to say that this is what you need right now, so this is the end of it. This is it. You're not going to get your success. You're not going to get anything. You will get there, honestly. All the spiritual people, like the spiritual greats, they say that if you can imagine it, it's meant for you. And I think because Bashar said that you have orchestrated everything before you were born here. When you visualize something or when you desire something, that means that you have orchestrated that before you were born here. You wanted that, so you orchestrated it, so it's going to happen. But you are the decider of how fast that is going to happen. I think that's the difference, or like that's the beautiful way when people say like, when someone says, when you desire it, it's meant for you. Most people, and me too, we don't believe it because it's like, well, it's not here. I desire it, but it's not here. But what if you desire it because you orchestrated it for yourself? And also, yeah, maybe in this lifetime, you don't achieve that. There are plenty of people let's just not say the word achieve, but let's just say the word who don't get to that reality. Because it's just a switch in reality. This is you already switching to reality because there's only one moment, right? There's plenty of people who don't realize those realities. And that's fine, because they might choose to, as you're an eternal being and everything is infinite, it kind of takes the pressure off until you go into those bad or negative thought loops again, and then the pressure's on. But like, yeah, it takes a certain kind of pressure off to say to yourself, this is the reality that I have. I can make this into a positive thing. I might not achieve this reality, and that takes excessive importance of it. As I said in the menu item story, if you just don't care about it, no matter if it's a small or big thing, because that's a belief that we put on it. Nothing is ever small or big. It's all literally basically, okay, the same manifestations, because there are no big or small things. Okay? I wanted to make another joke, but never mind. But we can we can realize anything that we want. And you desire it because you have orchestrated it before you were born. And it's okay if you don't. Because does that make you any less of a worthy person? No, because that's just a belief that you hold about yourself. Everyone is worthy because you were born. And not because you're born, because you are. Does it make you any less? No. And also, like, what happens? So this is also a great question, or like a great like statement to say. So what if you don't succeed? Like, actually, what happens? What actually happens? And I think like that's a great way to end this. So what? So I really hope that you like this, because I really did. I will post these questions in the bio, and just ask yourself these questions, because being stuck is also just a label, and it's just a feeling. And actually, the feeling of being stuck is also fleeting. So it's actually kind of a paradox. It's kind of something that it's polarity, which is weird. It's like we believe we are stuck, but actually everything is changing and fleeting. Just like what one great philosopher said, and I don't know who it is anymore, but the only constant in life is change. And we just don't see it because we're not vibrating on the solution of it yet. And that's okay. So take the pressure off. Ask yourself these questions if you feel stuck. And I hope you liked this first episode of the Intuitive Juliet podcast, or the Intuitive podcast. I don't know yet what I'm going to call it. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode, and I hope you have a marvelous day. Goodbye, everyone.